Put me on this time of morning. You're going to scare everybody.
Tell them Jah messenger.
Community, but straight away that's, red flag. Friend community, why are we the guinea pigs now?
I feel like when you are speaking up for yourself, it should be unapologetic and it should be honest. I think that we all have.
Yeah, man.
Happening, and if you ain't got enough to do it in your family, get 2 or 3 families together and start a business. We've got to be thinking like that now, because unemployment is going to be rife throughout our community now, right?
That's why they get caught up in a Babylon.
Well, does a community take care of itself? According to a recent study, a single pound circulates in the Asian community for 28 days, in Jewish communities for 20 days, in white communities for approximately 17 days, and the black community, 6 hours. With the Black Wall Street UK app, you can find any black-owned businesses around you with the tap of a finger. So next time you're searching for a nearby hair product store or a nail shop or an estate agent or any black-owned business or service provider, just do a super quick search on the Black Wall Street UK. Our app allows you to search by business type and location. You can save your favourite businesses, add your own black-owned business, read reviews from other clients and much more. The Black Wall Street UK, the entire UK black community at your fingertips. Free app now available on Apple and Play Store. www.theblackwallstreetuk.com.
At least I forget to tell you about the 24-hour live event that's going to be taking place. And I will be doing a collaboration alongside Natasha Vigil and Lorraine and Hugh Benlow. They are the owners of the Black Business Recommendation. Natasha, she runs the Black Wall Street of London. It's a virtual marketplace. And we've decided to basically come together 12 a.m. till 12 a.m. Now, please do not forget to subscribe. Especially if you're on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe, hit the button, subscribe, hit the button. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you like the page. By you liking the page, you will receive your notifications, whether you're in YouTube or whether you are, of course, in Facebook.
And don't hold back. Do what you want to do, yeah. Now is the time for you. To strive for you to get better in what you are doing. Yeah. Oh, Mama used to say. Mama used to say.
15 minutes with DJ Countryman and Rudi Lickwood. Saturday morning mayhem with 2 entertainment heavyweights.
Morning, darling.
Hey everyone. Hey Push.
So I can start.
My internet's awful.
Join them with interviews.
Who have on them telephone? Come on, turn off the telephone.
Comedy and quizzes.
There's no Peter, there. That's what I'm saying. Peter, hear me out, Peter. It said, can you write down the number 8 times? That means, no, it's not times, that multiplication. It's to write it down 8 times.
He's gone, man.
15 minutes with Rudi Lickwood and DJ Countryman. Saturday mornings, gonna be the same again.
Incredible.
Whoa, morning, people. Morning.
Morning.
How is everybody?
We're good.
Are you good? Are you excited? I'm excited. I'm excited. You can't
Never have so much woman around you, is it?
Huh?
You never have so much woman around you, is it?
Yeah, well, that's one thing. You know what I mean? That's one thing in our life. And the thing is, right, is that I can do this and it's okay. Wifey won't be upset.
That's
Because
good.
it's not like I can reach out and touch on them. If I could have touched... Oh, Claire, how you do, Claire?
Morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, everybody. Happy Saturday.
So it's happy Women's Month.
Hi everyone.
Hi. I'm Tegan Allison.
I'm just loving the hair, ladies.
Yeah.
The hair is stunning.
What about my hair?
You know, I was just about to say your hair is growing nicely, country.
You know what this is?
We're going to start plaiting it soon.
You know what this is?
A big nanny brush.
It's a big nanny beard brush. Beard
brush. Yeah, they're cute, they are.
brush. You do so with it.
What you dab it? Is that what you do?
No, it's like putting on foundation.
What do you know about foundation?
Oh my God.
No, I said it's like putting on foundation. I never
No,
said
for you to like it, you must understand or know how to
because
apply
I watch
it.
women put on foundation. Isn't it?
Oh wow!
Wow, that's quite
you know,
limited that you're watching people.
I was just about to say, which woman do you watch?
So I don't watch man put on.
Sorry.
Woman there, man.
Hello, people.
Hi, darling.
Hello.
Right. It's not right. Hang on, let me have a drink first.
You need a drink. I need a drink. I need to clean my glasses. I need to steam. It's like let me steam up.
This is going to be your best month.
I'm getting a hot flush.
This is going to be your best month.
Well, we ladies know nothing about that.
No, not old enough.
You're getting a flush, Rudy. Take off your top. Take off your top, Rudy, or take off your hat.
Hello.
You need to take off the clothes. You want me to take off the clothes? No.
I'm telling you.
Rudy, you see what I mean, Rudy? Too much woman, too much chatting. Put them all on mute.
Wow.
Only one we can talk is Althea. Everybody else just shut up.
Why only Althea?
Althea. You remember my
Althea looking after me. None of them don't look after me.
Morning, Shugs.
We're Shugs.
Hi, Shugs. Oh, good morning, Shugs. And Carl. Good morning, Carl.
Carl from
Tell him, Carl. Mind himself. Best mind.
Tell him.
Thank you, Carl.
Carl, shut up. Carl, a big friend.
Oh, that's cute.
Carl, a big friend.
See,
Rudy,
that's how you're supposed to greet us, countrymen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl.
So no pick on me. I said, and I quote what I meant, what I said. The only one of you can talk to me is Althea. So if
Okay.
you don't want to talk to me, go through Althea and she can relay it back to me. The one
Right,
that told me
Althea, can you let him know that we won't be talking to him today? Can you relay that to him?
It's good to be talking to you today.
I don't care as long as you talk to me, cause you look after me, cause you give me ear stuff and ear brush. Not one of them give me anything, not even water they give me so they can talk off.
Alfie, you've got a job today. You got a job.
Wow. Who's talking to him?
We have to translate as well.
Yeah,
In English.
difficult.
Rudy, do we actually need him today?
Huh?
Do we actually need him?
need him?
I feel like kicking off. Are we going to see the... Yes?
Talk to your people, let me know. Talk to them. Cause you in charge of them. Talk to them.
Listen, I don't want Julie Juice to vex with me, so I am not going to...
Yeah, fellow Brummies, what you want about? Come on, man.
Yeah, we're going to me.
Oh,
You've left us with him. You're good.
Rudy, Rudy, do not do that again. Don't do that again, Rudy. Can't get frightened.
He was with the lion dead, just dead.
I was frightened then.
Fire.
I know Carl wouldn't back me up. Carl would have gone.
Good.
And said Carl would have thrown water upon me towards the pitch and make it burn even more. Anyway, what's popping? Althea, everything all right, Althea?
Wow.
Everything is good with me and these beautiful ladies here.
Okay. Could you tell them one by one? I said hello, please.
One by one, you know.
Yeah. One by one, Countryman says hi.
Hi. Thank you, Althea.
Thank you, Althea.
Hello as well.
Appreciate
Mr. Marnin. Don't know about appreciate, but Mr. Marnin.
No, I'm appreciating Althea.
And I'll pull. And then after news with you should tell you about yourself too. So carry on. Wow. Carry on.
What's this? Carl is giving out red cards. What the hell is going on?
Carl from Wales. Carl from Wales. You can't tell Carl from Wales.
I don't know.
I think Rudy's offence was being male on this panel. I think that's what it is.
Hang on a minute. So what's my offence then?
Same thing, just about.
Just you.
Captain Caveman.
Song, let me count the ways.
No, you lot are wrong, man. You lot are wrong.
Oh, Rudy, don't start.
Yeah, don't start, Rudy.
No,
You lot are
Rudy,
wrong,
don't
man.
start. No.
No, you're safe, Rudy. I wouldn't even bother to open.
Yeah.
No booking out. You're doing God.
No booking out. But Rudy, how's the 24-hour event going?
You know what? I've been up all night.
Yeah, because I
an hour.
I jumped in about 3
Hi,
o'clock.
Fergus. Oh, sorry, Fergus. Spencer, sorry. I'm calling you by
One
your
shot.
One shot for the name. I got mine.
What we have to be careful of is talking over one another, please.
Oh, yeah.
That means gonna shut up.
Oh, Lord.
No, that don't
You
mean
still there? You're still there?
So what we doing from today?
Huh?
What we doing from today?
What we're doing from today?
Yeah.
Well, first thing we're going to do is this.
Morning, Astrid. Morning, Trev.
Oh, morning, Trev.
One bag of woman.
That's got you lot quiet, innit?
Music.
Yep. Love of music.
Music.
That's got you quiet.
Thank God for that.
More of that.
It's a very good version, actually.
Version.
Are you going to let them know?
Hello.
Good
Morning, everybody.
How are you? Wow.
How you all doing?
Yeah,
Good, thank you. All the better for seeing you.
Better believe.
Yeah.
Looking bright.
All right. So you enjoying yourselves?
Now?
Yeah.
Now you're here, Junior. You can sort them out.
Yeah.
Tell me, how are you doing, Mr. Giscombe? How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm dealing with the pandemic like everybody else, and no, everything is good. I can't complain.
What's popping, Junior? What's popping?
What's popping? New album, new single, new done a new documentary for the album, and the video I'm doing next week. So yeah, it's going good. It's going good.
Yeah, because I did wonder how comes we never received the video.
Right.
I was thinking to myself, where the video there, man? Where the video there?
Where am I going?
I'm holding back on me. I'm thinking to myself, what? I mean, it would be nice to have a little visual as well, you know?
A little visual, you know, just to see. Oh, it got.
Yeah,
No,
man.
we'll have the video. We'll have the. We're putting out the documentary first. It's an 11-part documentary, really just speaking about what I did, how the album was made. It was made between here, Florida, and Jamaica. So it was like the experiences during that period of time that was going on. And also, you know, being down in Jamaica at the time when COVID was just licking out was an experience. You know, it was hotels closing down, everything closing down. And if you were English, forget that, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? Forget that.
Junior, while he was in Jamaica, Junior?
Yeah.
While he was in Jamaica, Wagwan, you good?
Good, man.
While he was in Jamaica, did he dig any yam?
Then no must.
Some people here don't know nothing about yam.
Oh, listen.
Hey,
put down some selfish with that dinner.
When you're born in England, we don't eat shrubs. You understand?
You know what I'm saying?
Them talk them.
Shrubs got dealing with shrubs, man.
Rudi, I mean, sorry, Junior, have you got one of these?
What's that?
Oh my God.
He wanted to brush it. To brush your beard.
Junior, you don't need one. It's dye for his grey hair. He's trying to look young. You don't need that.
So Junior, what's popping? What's popping, Junior? I don't like them. Junior, there's too much woman in here.
He's saying he's got the album that's coming out now. Are there any collaborations on it? Are there any collaborations on the album?
Well, what I did was the album's the duet album of basically like songs that I'd done that had been successful around the world. We did them with a reggae flavor. I went right back to where I started, which is reggae music, to be quite honest. So it was like looking at the songs in different ways and asking different artists. I have Stephen Marley on Mama Used to Say, Luciano's on that too. I have Janet Kay on Morning Will Come. Paulette Taja on the single, which is Step Off.
Yeah, I played that today, and it gets a good feedback.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Notice I played today and it gets a good feedback. I never get it off of you, but I played today and it gets a good feedback. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. You're good. Ladies, how do you manage with him?
We don't.
We're really managing, actually.
We don't. Not less than an hour.
It's easier to ignore Junior. We live quite close to him, Junior. We might see him on the street.
So Junior, the album now.
Yes.
Somebody playing something.
Come back tonight.
Who playing something?
What's that to discover? Right here is the power. I wanna know.
That's just a little taste. That's just a little taste.
DJ Rudi.
That's a little taste.
That's nice.
Like
Like that.
Thank you.
Because the thing is though, Junior, is that you really did experiment when it came to music, because you kind of went the reggae scene and then you sort of went into classic pop, didn't you? You kind of.
I think what it was, you know, right, to be honest, was that when I was starting out making music in terms of, I was a teenager, like 13, 14, 15. So, and everything was reggae, right? There was no real soul clubs or soul anything, right? And it didn't really bother me because it was about that. It was about the reggae music. It was about Lovers Rock, the beginning of it. It was, you know, right at the very early stages of transformation, if you like, from just doing reggae and realizing that music was for everybody and not just to be pushed into one corner. And it was good to be able to be a part of a movement of artists at that time who was coming out, like, you know, Soul to Soul and all of that came later on. But if you think about at that particular time, you had myself, you had Imagination, you had, what was his name? Easy, right? But, you know.
Yeah, that's the grey matter, boy. That's the grey matter.
You know, you came into Loose Ends, you came into all of that. So we were experimenting and trying to move British black music into an area that was more popular so that we could get more of us through the door. It wasn't about the individual. It was about making sure that there was a train behind us, because, you know, there were some great artists out there.
Wasn't it, is it Turner? What's her name? Turner, who actually...
Ruby Turner.
Ruby was the one who really stepped out first.
Without Brummy again.
The Brummy.
You Brummies. Go, Brummies.
Yeah, all the Brummies.
You go, Brummies.
All the way.
It was fantastic.
I told you, Birmingham.
Together.
Birmingham run things, yeah?
Yeah, Ruby was running things, man. We did a duet together back in the day, which was great. As I said, it was everybody knew one another, if you know what I'm saying. We didn't come at this as I don't really know that person, so let me go through this person to get them. We all knew one another. So it was a matter of picking up the phone, saying to somebody, you're doing something, right? Get them to come down, show them what it was, let them express themselves and take it to another level. And that's what we was all trying to do at that time.
Because you stepped out into America.
Yeah.
Which must have been a big market. I mean, that must have been quite daunting. But I mean, what was that experience like?
It was very daunting at the time, because you can imagine you're a loner, you're on your own. All of a sudden, you're the biggest thing since sliced bread in America. So you go there and you have this whole thing of the girls at the airport and stuff like that you were watching on TV. All of a sudden, your music is doing that. So you're doing Soul Train, you're doing different things. You're meeting people like Michael Jackson and like Prince and like Quincy Jones, Luther Vandross. So you can't believe it. For me, it was like I couldn't believe what was going on. To be honest, I
can't believe what was going on, because the sort of taxi rides that you lot were getting
and don't take no time from the body. Just do what me tell you for the same style and make sure say everything work according to how man say everything for work. See, take back yourself and bring back yourself in a one piece. Make sure see you read. Hear me? Lord of mercy, hey, Lord of His mercy, Lord of mercy. Driver, don't stop at all. Drop this Arizona round an Albemarle. Driver.
Them kind of taxi ride
You see them kind of taxi ride, that's serious thing.
So Junior.
Yes, I.
All right. So from then till now, what's the difference in making the music from then till now? What's the
difference? The difference is you're now making music on your own and sending it to people for them to do what they're doing, and then they send it back to you. So that the creative inclusion, isn't there in the way that it used to be, and that's a shame, because it's like the thing about our, and I call it our music, black music. The thing about our music is it's a collective thing. People worked together to get a vibe that worked, and we would then feel that vibe. We didn't have to see anybody. We I don't think any of us really, if we think about it, back in Small Axe days of Bob Marley, for instance, right? Nobody saw the Wailers. You heard them. And that was the difference with our music. It wasn't that we needed to see them as much as we did and we wanted to. It was the vibe of the music. You know, you go back to Black Heart Man with Bunny Wailer, you know, rest in peace. People like that, you know, Tosh as well, Peter Tosh, the Heptones, you know, all of these people, but Burning Spear, all of these people, I never saw them. It was their music. I felt. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one of the biggest changes, I think, in music is that people tend to, like you said, Rudy, where's the visual? It'd be nice to see some visual. Whereas if you go back, even in soul music, if you go right back to the early Marvin Gaye's and stuff like this, we didn't see them, we heard them.
But the difference, I think the difference was that we heard them, we didn't really hear you. We didn't really hear our own. I mean, what was I mean, in terms of real support from the UK, do you know what I mean? Was it always there? Was it really there? Or was it, I think go to America, them not hear you in America, Boss, you get on the billboard, when you got the newcomer award, and you met up with James Brown. Talk to us.
James Brown gave me my award. I'd been a fan of James Brown since I was a kid. He made a record called Money Won't Change You, and my sister had sent it from America over to us, and that was my beginning to James Brown. And then it was like Payback and all that kind of stuff, and you know, Get Up on the Good Foot and Get Up on the Good Foot, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, it was like good times music, and I've been a fan. So when I was told that I was going to get this award, you know, from James Brown, it was like, at that point, it was like the highlight. But he did something that really shook me right at the time. And I take a picture with him and my mouth's kind of like, right? Yeah, he came up. I went to him and went to shake his hand. And he pulled me up close and he said, "You young da-das, take my place." I thought to myself, who could take James Brown's place? You know, that wasn't. But what it was that, like, because of the fact that the record was so big and the attraction towards me was like, it was incredible at the time. It just felt weird that somebody would feel that I could come along and take their space. I was coming along to cement a space, if you get what I'm saying, junior space. I wasn't coming to take anybody's space, right? But it was the first time that I'd spoken with him, and it was just so interesting when he decided to depart and tell me various things about his journey and the things that he had to do, which in England we didn't have that. And also in England, right, they didn't really want to play us. It was like you had to be black and funny, you know, hey, how you doing? And you're laughing all the time, so that you came across as a joker, and it worked for the marketing that they wanted to put across, that we were pretty ignorant. We were very fortunate that they were doing these things for us. My thing was, the hell with you, I'm not bothered with you. So every time I made a record, after I won the award, came back to England, I did Beverly Hill Cop, and I made a record for Beverly Hill Cop. The record came out, it did what it did. The album did 150 million copies worldwide, and I couldn't get
Junior. Can I get a loan? Can I get?
You're the hottest thing in America, and you come back home and you think to yourself that, like, people will appreciate the fact of what you've done. They will also make sure that it was put out there so that other young musicians who were coming through could see that it's more than possible. You can make it. You can do it. Right? England didn't want to know. I couldn't get an interview. Nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody was playing the record. Nobody was highlighting the fact that it was the only British artist on the album, right? And in the film's played around the world every 4 minutes. You know, it's like we can achieve great things in music and have been doing that, but it's not been documented. You know, it's not been documented. So you get the young kids who come in, they think that their music, you know, a guy sent me a tape and he had the Isley Brothers playing in the background. And when I turned and I said to him, I went back and I said to him, this is the Isley Brothers, you know, who are they? So I was like, oh, okay, fine, let me send you the track.
Yeah,
so when I sent him the track, he came back to me and he said, they must have been listening to what I've been doing. Can you imagine? They've been around for years, you know, right? And this kid's like in his 20s. So if you get what I'm saying, there's no, they don't know their own history. They don't know how the jungle thing started, for it to go into the grime thing, for it to go into, they don't understand the movement, and they don't understand that a lot of it was done by English musicians.
But the thing is that you were very, very young. You were like, I mean, baby face, almost baby face.
1982.
Afro and suit.
I was 10.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, look at that little face.
I remember that.
Look at that little face, man. I'm just. I mean, what's happened, man? It's like life has really thrown a brick at you, bruv.
Why? Because I'm playing grey. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Wow.
When did you lose the hair?
I cut it off.
You tell him. You tell him. You cut off your hair.
Rudy, jealousy is a bad thing.
I couldn't see myself with that Don King kind of vibe, you know. Okay. The grey hair going up.
Morning, Jimmy.
Wow.
Good.
So Junior, ladies,
yes,
I'm talking. Ladies, I'm talking, please.
Sorry, country.
Have some manners when big man are talking.
Oh, Rudy.
Girls, I hear you.
Rudy.
Sorry, kick him out, please, Rudy.
I hear you.
Rudy.
Kick him out now. Thank you.
Time to go.
Yes.
So
Junior, can I do that?
Shoot, girls.
Junior, someone put in the message, Phil put in a message that why do UK artists feel the need to go to the States and then come back? Is it because that there wasn't any opportunities here? So you had to go where there was opportunities, where there was growth, because it's your passion. That's how I see it. It's your passion, and you need to follow your passion. And if there are more hurdles here.
But I think in England, what it was, let's be totally honest here, right? In England, it was racist. Yeah. So if you made a record and you had some white guys in the band, let's say the Specials, then you're going to stay around, right? The Beat, then you're going to stay around.
B40.
Right? Or you can carry on naming them. But if you were black and you were making a record that didn't sound like an American record, then you were second class. What Mama did was put us straight into the top belt. That's what that record did. It made America turn around and want us. They wanted English acts. They wanted to promote because we had something different. We were a melting pot of pop, R&B, and reggae. They weren't able to mix like that. They weren't able to vibe like that. And Mama used to say, when it came out, Mama used to say they didn't get any promotion. You know, it wasn't like if this was a promoted record to the American market. The American market heard it. The record company spent 25 grand on that record and we sold over 11 million, right? Wow. They spent no money on it because the record itself gained momentum in the country. One, because of what it was saying, and two, because the sound was different.
But then at the same time though, Junior, wasn't you it's like you was going about things in a different way, because the sort of duets that were being done then was being done a certain way.
Yeah.
Whereas you kind of, well, I'll let you explain it yourself.
Yeah, I was asked by Kim Wilde, right, if we could do a duet together. At the time, Michael McDonald had come out with On My Own, right, with Patti LaBelle.
Wow.
And she had heard it, she liked it, and wanted to go down that area. And I was like, no, that's just exactly what they want to see. It's exactly what they would say, oh, yes, that's really lovely. And you know, they would promote and market. I didn't want that. So I went electro pop, right?
Yeah, this is my phone.
Yeah, completely away from it.
So when you did that, I kind of went,
what's he doing? Yeah. Hold on. Let me leave the room. But it was also, it was to express the fact that we are more than capable. Do not put us in any kind of bag that is suited to you, for you to then turn around and do what you did to a Frank Bruno, or what you did. Do you get what I'm trying to say? All of these.
This is what I love about you. This is what I love about you, is that you're prepared to talk. You're prepared to walk your own line, as opposed to, you're an artist, so you create your own world, basically.
I don't.
But you also step into politics, if I'm right, because could you tell us a bit about is it Red Wedge?
Red Wedge?
Yes.
I got involved with Red Wedge with Billy Braggs and Paul Weller, and what it was they were during the Thatcherite days. We had gone up to the north of England and went and saw how the police were treating the miners and what was going on. At the same time as that was happening, Feed the World was happening, Bob Geldof and that whole thing. And I was opposed to that, right, for the simple reason I'd gone to the Rock and Pop Awards, and the guy who had made people aware of the fact of what was going on down there, they were honoring him, and they turned around and said that he was in sunny South Africa, right, Sun City. So I walked out, and in walking out, everybody went completely spare. How can you do this?
Yeah.
There's like 500 white people and maybe like only 10 of us as black people within the room, and they wanted us to stay. I couldn't stay. The other 9 stayed, but that wasn't me. I wasn't going to stay there and be humiliated in that way. I didn't think that it was correct that this guy could go down to Ethiopia and do what he did, and then go to South Africa and go to Sun City, and that was still at a time of apartheid. And you're showing us here in England what a wonderful thing that he did. I don't know nothing about that. I just knew that, like, you know, my mum came from a completely different place. My mum was a Garveyite, so my mum made sure that I knew who I was. So I wasn't sitting down there and being humiliated in that way. So you started to see that there was no respect at all. I would be in England, I wouldn't get my records played. I'd make a record in America and it'd go to #1. So it started to make me understand more and more that my audience, it wasn't that there wasn't people here who were into what I was doing. It was more that people were into what was given to them. They were being force-fed. So when I got involved with Red Wedge, it was to actually turn around and not be a part of any political movement, but to actually show that we as black people were politically aware, and that we as black people had something to say and was going to say it within this whole racist scenario that you're building for us to be looked upon, as I keep saying, second-class citizens. And I wasn't that. I was never a second. It's like when I was a kid, people would say, oh, I'm British. I'd say I'm English. And they'd say, no, we're all British. I'd say, well, you know, my head didn't pop out in Scotland, and my 2 arms didn't pop out in Wales, and my legs didn't pop out in Ireland, and my torso didn't pop out in England. I was born in England. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? I didn't want to focus in on being a part of something that wasn't going to represent me and mine in a way whereby we could succeed. Everything seemed to me like if you went to your careers officer, they want you to be an electrician, a plumber, nothing wrong with it. But say you want to be a scientist, they look at you and smile. You know, forget that. But if your friend came in who got lower marks than you and said he wanted to be a scientist, they'd most probably give him a route to how he could get there. Do you know what I'm saying? So you started to see the injustices. So being a part of Red Wedge was to try and highlight those injustices. But obviously what happened was, in being involved with them, everybody else put out their records and they all had number one. Junior put out his records and couldn't get played and wouldn't get played. It was a way of saying that, like, you've crossed the line, my son. You don't seem to understand that there are rules and regulations to this game, and you have to play them like everybody else. And I chose not to.
Yeah, because it's them who's letting you know that they're controlling the industry. You don't. It's not the market forces, as you would assume that it would have been.
I looked at it that way. I would see other artists who would be coming huge. I'd go to America, and the American artists would all have something to say that was uplifting. Right. And that really helped me, because being in England, it was like so few of us. And when you did talk to someone, you were really pleased that, like, you could talk and you could show them that, like, listen, you best own your own things, you know. You best, if you're making these records, own them, because down the road, right, you can lease them, you can do things with them. I didn't know all of this until I went to America, and the artists from a Stevie Wonder, all of them, Stevie, Michael, Luther, they all would speak to me, because I was the little young guy from England who was fresh in the game and needed to understand. People like Rick James, who would tell me things and show me things and enlighten me in terms of my music, and also enlighten me in terms of the business. So being a part of Red Wedge was very much about being upfront for us. So it was like not standing there and taking the rubbish, right, and allowing those people in the hierarchy of the music industry to dictate how you should be.
So then now that you've come out with the album Everything's Set, how much in control are you? How much was you in control of that whole process there then?
That was totally me. I've been totally me since the early 90s. I refused to sign to a major record label. After I left MCA, I'd been offered a few deals in terms of major record companies, and I thought, no, to hell with that, I'm not doing that. So I turned around and I set up my own company, which was called Step Off Music, and put an album out. Really, it was an exercise for myself. I do that sometimes. I made an album, and it was called Honesty, and I put it out in Japan, and we sold about 60,000 copies. But in Japan, that's a hell of a lot of records. That was the beginning of showing me that you can and should move yourself forward unaided. It's a bit like the society I live in. The society we live in, we are aided by our the people who run the place. They're always aiding us. If we're not able, then they will put the money in, and we think that we're running it, but in actuality, they're running it because you don't own it. So it was something that Stevie showed me about ownership of my own publishing, for instance, which I did very early in the 80s and made sure that that was something that I owned. And then after a while, it was to try and own your recording rights. So that's another thing that, like, you know, I want to do and have been doing, and in the process of getting back my recorded rights. So that everything that I did and everything that I'm writing, I own. That way, I'm not dependent on anybody in the hierarchy to say to me, but, like, you know, Junior, we can put in £1 million and we can boost you, or we can this, or we can that. You keep your money. It's cool, you know.
So, I mean, Phil's asking a question here. Did you actually get ripped off along the way?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, when I look back, I went out on my first tour, Rudy, and my first promotional tour in America, 6 weeks. I was doing 4 nights with his name slips me, but he was the first rapper, right, to become huge. And I went out on tour with him, and another guy who did a tune called Bust Up. And I was earning like 40 grand for singing 2 songs. And that's 1981. You get what I'm saying? I come back to England, and you talk to a promoter and he wants to give you £500, and you're looking at him like, are you crazy?
We're Brock over here, man. We're Brock. Come on, man. We're Brock.
No.
We live in a Stonebridge. We live in a Stonebridge on the 13th floor, Terati. Come on.
No, you don't.
Unity,
no, you don't.
Come on, Unity. America is a much bigger place.
Yeah.
So you totally understand that, and you totally get that, because the auditoriums and places that you're playing are much larger. Do you know what I'm saying? You can go to a club in certain parts of America and you can get 7,000 people in there. You're not going to a club and getting those 7,000 people in the UK. So I get it.
Yeah, you get 1,000, you get 500. You're good. You're good.
Rye Lounge.
Rye Lounge could hold him. Royal Lounge can't hold him, man.
Well, if everybody go on a diet, then probably could.
Wow. In fact, as we say that,
can I ask Junior, out of all the the legends that you've met, who was the most starstruck by?
The most starstruck? Marvin Gaye. Wow. Marvin Gaye. I could have said Bob Marley, but because I was so young when I met Bob Marley, my brothers were friends with him. They lived in the same tenement yard and all that kind of stuff in Trenchtown. So my brothers would take me and I met him. And because I was young, I didn't really take on board what Bob Marley was. But when I met Marvin Gaye, was outside the Royal Albert Hall. He was standing up. We were late for the gig, a friend of mine, and we were running, and we saw this guy outside standing up smoking a cigarette. And I couldn't believe it. We're running up and we're saying, that's Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye, what? So we run up and we get to Marvin Gaye. This is all before I made music. Or should I say before I started to have any success in music. And we ran up and we met him, and I just stood there. I couldn't move. My friend asked him what he was doing outside, and he turned and he said he couldn't believe that his music had touched so many people, because it was a sold out gig. And he was outside and he was smoking a cigarette because of how tense he was and nervous he was. And that was like a wow to me, because
it's back to normality, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes.
You know, saying, Junior, saying that was like a wow to me, because I remember playing at an event, 7 Stars event in one place in London. And you come over to me when I was DJing, and you said, wow, that's my record. And I went, raw. And I carried on. That's what you feel like to me. I thought I just dropped that in. I don't know if you remember the event,
No, I'm being honest.
Too funny.
That's, you saying that, it's funny though, but when you say that, right, like things like that happen. You because again, countrymen, you're meeting so many people, and it's like at first I used to say, oh, I won't meet that person again. It's just a one-off. I won't meet that person again. And then you start realizing that like 2, 3, 4 years, you're still meeting these people, and they're part of your life. They're talking to you on another level. You're not just talking about a particular part of the business. You're talking about art. You're talking about the revolution. You're talking about the movement of Black people going forward. They were encouraging me to stand as an artist when I went to America, whereas in England they were encouraging me to smile more. Don't put your hand in your pocket. Make sure that you say all the right things. When I did Another Step with Kim Wilde going back, right, because it was a kind of electro pop kind of thing. Nobody wanted to know. But the record kicked in, and we did pictures, which was black and white, opposed to color pictures with smiles. I wouldn't smile. I wouldn't do the things that they wanted me to do. But the record still was successful. We went out on tour with Michael Jackson. That pissed off a whole heap of people, right? Junior on tour with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson coming backstage and asking for Junior again.
I remember Omar was cussing you. Omar was cussing you.
Of course. Did they, I know. Because
all them men was cussing you, I'm telling you. They're going to say it.
They were, because it's like got older. But it was that whole thing of not wanting to be a part of what they said we were. I wasn't what you said I am. More than that. That's what I wanted to show.
That's an individual thing about you, though. I think that's more of an individual, because most people told the line. Most people most probably want to socialize and be part of the group, part of the clique, part of the, Did you have that sense of responsibility that you were actually paving the way? You were actually going down that dark tunnel that nobody had been in. I mean, where were your parents? Where are your parents from, by out?
My parents are both from Jamaica. Right, my mum is from town and my father is from St. Anne's.
Look.
Don't make me take out my compound on there. Too much I own it.
Sorry, Junior, where your parents from again? Uptown and downtown?
No, my mum comes from Trenchtown and my dad comes from St. Mary's.
Can you explain the Trenchtown and the St. Mary to the non-Jamaicans on the panel? I'm not calling no name Rudi. I'm not calling.
We need explaining.
Let it go.
Let's find out just how well the panel actually do feel that they have a sense of who Junior is. Because I'm gonna put up a picture in a minute, ladies, right. And I'd like you to say who you think Junior would more than likely want to do a duet with.
Oh.
Whitney.
Gladys.
Who's the lady in the top left? Sade, probably.
Sade.
Yeah, Sade.
I would have said Sade.
Whitney, you said
or Aretha. Is that Aretha on the bottom?
Yeah, Aretha. Yeah.
Or Aretha.
I think Aretha.
Yeah. Come on, talk it, man.
Oh, it's Dionne Warwick in the top left, isn't it? I was trying to work out who he was then.
Dionne Warwick.
Is that Tina Turner as well?
Yes, that's right.
Turner, Mary J.
Yeah.
Aretha.
I still think Aretha.
Yeah,
Aretha.
Yeah, Aretha. Yeah.
Don't shake your head, boy. Don't shake your head. Don't tell him nothing. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. So wait, hold on. So we start off with Julie. Julie, who do you think? Who did you pick?
I said Sade.
I would have.
You say Sade.
I would have picked.
Wait, Junior, wait. Ali, you're muted, darling.
Whitney,
Spice.
Well, I did say Sade, but I think Aretha now.
Aretha. Alfie.
I definitely think Aretha.
Donna.
I'd say Sade.
You say Sade as well, yeah? Okay, Claire.
I say Whitney.
Claire.
Clear?
Freeze up.
Yeah,
Claire always a freeze, man.
She said Whitney.
Freeze up, man.
No, she's not
Whitney, but she's not moving.
All right, so Whitney without moving. Clear say Whitney without moving.
Who you going for, country?
Anyone where Althea picking.
He's going with Althea. Althea, who did you pick?
Aretha. I didn't think Sade because I think she's more accessible. I think perhaps Aretha.
You sure you don't want to change your mind, Jules?
Yeah, I did say, you said he was the first. I said Sade. My other choice would have been Aretha. So, yeah, both.
Alfie, Antigua, you don't want to change your mind?
No. Listen, I've got noise in my background, Rudi. Don't want to upset you.
What about upsetting me?
Okay.
What about upsetting me, though? You upset me too as well.
Nobody's talking to you. You told us not to talk to you.
Sorry.
They're not talking to you, countryman.
Okay, thank you, Althea. Thank you.
Sorry. Yes, Althea, please tell me.
Okay, well, Julie, do you want to reveal? And wait, hold on. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Go, Julie.
Right. Sade, I knew way back in the day, and Sade I liked, but Sade wasn't for me in terms of a duet.
Okay.
Whitney was somebody again who I really liked, She liked what I did, which was interesting. My second album, she asked for an autograph, which was fantastic. We did a gig, and that was really lovely because it was like nobody else really knew about Junior in America because it was an English thing that we were doing. So that was great, but not for me. Aretha became like a surrogate mother in some ways. Every time I went to America, she'd always ring. Her and Patti LaBelle would always ring, and they would always have great things to say and a great vision of Junior. So for me, if I ever had the chance, unfortunately, I'll never get that chance, but it would have been Aretha.
I told you.
It would have been Aretha.
No.
Okay.
That was a very endearing.
Well done, Althea. Well done.
I actually went for Dionne Warwick because I thought it was so international, and you know the kind of risks that you took with the music. I thought
I covered one of her songs, you know, called "Then Came You," right back in the day, which she did with the Detroit Spinners, and I love her too. I love her work. I love what she does. You know, most of those women that you showed there, their work's incredible. You know what I mean, right? It should have been like 6 black women from the UK, mind you, but it's all good.
So okay. So, ladies, who do you reckon he would have chosen as a black female British artist? Who would you go for now?
Now, remember, before you answer, ladies, remember, I've already worked with Janet Kay, Carol Thompson, Paulette Taja, what's her name? Kim Wilde. So forget all of those and think of the others.
Misha, I would say.
All of those black.
Yeah, Misha Paris would be
Really go
good.
for Misha
She
Paris.
would be. She would definitely be good.
I would say Debbie Glasgow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I would have said Gina Libambo.
Oh, what's the first name?
Gina Libambo.
Yeah. Definitely those two. I definitely work with both of those.
Claire?
Is it Emilia Sunday?
That was going to be mine as
Emily
well.
Sunday?
I think your tones would go match really well.
Yeah, I would say her.
Well, yeah. The guys have got it at the moment, though.
I told you.
The guys have got it at the moment, though.
I told you.
Deborah, and
I told you. I told you. Althea, I'm rooting for Althea. Me and Althea working together. The rest of them can.
Right, I'm gonna ask you. No, in fact, I think we've got a little bit more time than I think actually.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
No, we've actually run out of time actually.
Oh.
What we're gonna do is this is gonna upset the ladies, but they're gonna love it still. What we're gonna do is we've still got a quiz to go.
Right.
And we haven't done this in maybe
Donkeys.
about 5
Let me guess.
weeks now.
Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes,
5,
no.
6
Yes,
weeks.
no. Yes,
We
no.
will,
Yes,
we
no.
will
Yes.
play. We will play the yes no.
Yes!
game.
I love that.
Okay, we will play.
Junior, you can do it. You can do it, Junior.
Now, allow me to explain the rules.
Hang on.
You end up having a conversation with Countryman.
Right.
During this conversation, you're not allowed to say yes. You're not allowed to say no.
Okay.
You're not allowed to repeat, and you're not allowed to stall. So you can't hang around for like 2 seconds before you open your mouth. Yeah?
And you can't say
No, you can say
No, you can't.
You can't say It's true because you can't repeat it. So you can say
So you can say
no. It's either yes or no, right? Because of the time.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to remove Julie.
I've done it before, so don't.
I'm going to remove Spice.
Okay.
I'm going to remove Donna. I'm going to remove Claire.
Okay.
I'm going to remove Althea. And I'm also going to remove... wait, where am I? Oh, sorry. I'm also going to remove Ali.
Okay.
Now, this game starts, okay, It starts the moment I ring the bell and I leave the room.
All right.
So, Junior, what's popping?
Well, everything good, you know.
Everything good?
Everything lovely.
Everything lovely.
Blessed.
Blessed. So, what go on? How's things?
I can't complain. As I said, everything is lovely.
Married?
Pandemic go on, so everything is good.
You keep saying everything is good. Are you married yet?
Yes.
You did say everything is good twice, and
I know. I said it when he said it the second time. It's like,
everything is good twice, and
Go on. Uno call me teeth now. Uno call me teeth now. Go on. Uno call me teeth now. Come on. Uno call me teeth.
Now, all of the ladies,
Not a word. Not a word.
all of the ladies are upset
You did
now.
well. You did well.
Who's
You did
not in the
well.
room? Is everybody in the room? Everybody's in
No, Spice.
Come
Yes,
on.
everybody-
Everyone's here.
Everybody's in
No
the
one
room.
else can fit.
Yeah,
me teeth now.
we're
Call
very
me teeth now.
unfortunate with that. You know what, Junior, you was doing okay.
Yeah, you did well.
The second time.
This is the single that's coming out, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new track. Well, you got them swaying, Junior. You got them swaying.
Oh, yeah.
You got them swaying.
I beg friend, them I beg friend.
But not you.
Jackie
We will
Sinclair
beg
said, I don't
we
know
will
how
beg
to do
Junior
your but
friend.
I'll probably do that.
It's not bad. It's not bad tune.
Listen.
Nice tune.
Junior,
There's
I was
quite a
interested in.
fusion in there, though.
Yeah, Junior, I was interested in the documentary
Yeah.
that you've made for the album.
Uh-huh.
It's 11 episodes. Where will it be?
It'll be on all platforms pretty much when we put it out there. It starts the whole, as I said, it starts the making of this. So each one, instead of just doing like an hour-long piece, right? I thought it would be better to do it in parts. So you get the introduction, you get the idea of where I'm coming from, family that I had, right? My brothers and my sisters.
Hang on. Rudy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I think Junior didn't want to say a speech on how great you are, but you was playing the music, so we couldn't hear what Junior was saying. And everything it was saying about you was great. So, Junior, could you say it again?
Well, the thing is, unfortunately, we really have run out of time. It was such an interesting journey that you took us on, Junior. And as a Black British youth, I've got to say I'm really, really proud of the way that you represented us.
I'm glad I met you, and I'm glad I played that record. And
I'm glad you did.
That dance where you come up to me and say, "That's my record," and you look around, and everybody was dancing. For you to come up to me and say that, I said, "Oh my God,
oh mate, thank you."
I just need some jingles.
Now look who's begging for him.
Yeah.
Now look who are begging for him.
Junior, I'm no doubt.
Don't ask, don't get.
If you don't ask, you don't get. Like Althea look after me, so if we don't ask Althea for nothing, me not get. So Junior, we're all getting over for Rudi, and we can have a private conversation where there's no woman about.
Oh, ladies.
Don't give it to him,
International
Junior. Don't
Women's
give it
Week,
to him.
man. It's International Women's Week. And give me a little space here, because I'd like to remind everybody that because it is International Women's Week, this week on Keep It Real, I will be talking to Angie Lamar, Queen of Black British Comedy. Okay, so that's going to be worth. Yeah. We've got a fantastic lineup for you for Anything Goes this week. We've got Bella Blake, we've got Donna Murray Turner, we've got Jackie Williams from the Rants and Bants crew.
And we're ready for them. We're ready for them.
Kwaku. Okay, so please do tune in. Junior, would you like to say goodbye? And please do hang around in the green room. I'm sure the ladies would like to have a little word with you before we go.
And the man too as well.
Yes, and I'm sure the man would also like to as well. But we really do have to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for watching 15 Minutes with DJ Countryman, myself, Rudi Lickwood, and the panel. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
It's with Rudi Lickwood and DJ Countryman. Saturday mornings, gonna be the same again.
We love looking after young people and just basically helping them in their football development. The academies look after all the senior kids, all the elite kids, and we look after everyone else.
This is what gives me the most joy, watching them not being able to kick a ball, and then 6 months later they're able to do things they never envisioned them doing.
A lot of people are focused on the footballer, and then when the talent doesn't manifest in the way that the coach may like it, goodbye.
It's giving back to the community. I've been working for the community all my life, and this is a big part of it. Giving back.
My name is Angie Lamar. I'm an actress, writer, director, comedian, producer, mother, grandmother, and my profession is that. That's what I do. Well, I started my career in comedy.
It's time to spice up your food with One Shot Marinade, the authentic Caribbean seasoning. What did you have to do?
It was essentially the male equivalent of a female beauty competition. Thousands came, for the final. It was just a really, really uplifting event.
I'd be up for it for a laugh.
Peter, you're silent.
You can't enter. You can't enter.
Huh?
Shut your mouth. I don't want to enter. I don't need
you can't even see your feet when you look down to her.
Kim and Jim now.
I don't know if
we're running out of time.
Wait.
Red card. I must say, first of all, those who are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to YouTube, our Anything Goes YouTube podcast. And then when we go live, you get the notification.
Do not forget to subscribe, especially if you're on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe, hit the button, subscribe, hit the button.